how I quit my 6-figure job in New York to become a writer. And I moved to Mexico in the process. So when I was living in New York City, I was working at Vox Media, which was a really great company with lots of good benefits and good people, but I freaking hated my job. For the record, I was revenue analytics manager, which basically meant that I would just do a bunch of data analysis and talk to the sales teams and blah, blah, blah. And by February 2022, I was like literally dying inside, and I realized that I really needed to escape the city. So I messaged my friend Daniela, who can only be described as the witchy Jewish mother that I never had. And she happened to live in upstate New York and near Kingston. She was like, don't worry, I'm in Manhattan, I'm about to drive home. Why don't you come up with me, hang out in Kingston for a couple of days, and you can think about it. But obviously I knew that Daniela was also one of the more spiritual inclined kind of people. And so she had a shit ton of magic mushrooms, and she loved to actually do guides and lead people on their spiritual journeys. So after a couple of days of me like floundering, working remotely, trying to get this bullshit like data integration done, I finally decided, fine, you know what, I'm gonna sit for a mushroom ceremony with Daniela and do like a macro dose and just see what comes out of it. And again, at this point in my life, I had been so fucking stuck. I just couldn't seem to figure out how I was gonna get out of my job, what I was gonna do, etc. Through this mushroom ceremony that I did with Daniela, I figured out that I want to live where hummingbirds live, and I really also wanted to finish my novel, which was literally my childhood dream. I also had a bunch of shit happening with like the trauma in my body, and I thought about, you know, my grandma and my mom and the cycle of life and all this stuff, and it was super freaking intense. But basically, I came out of that macrodosis, you know, 4 hours later, and I messaged my parents and I said, I'm moving to Mexico, I'm quitting my job, and if I have only less than $2,000 in my bank account, then I'll come back to London, but if not, peace. And then that very next day, I took a literal half-hour meeting with my boss, and I just like quit on the spot, and it was freaking amazing. And obviously he was super pissed because I was supposed to deliver this like huge data integration that was really important for the company and blah, blah, blah. But I basically never heard from them again. And Daniela also really helped me because I remember specifically saying to her when we were in the car, like, I don't know if I can leave my house. I have this apartment in New York, like I need to get rid of it, but I don't know how. And she's like, why are you even worried about this? Like, just get a subletter. And so yeah, literally within like 3 weeks of that all happening, I moved out, I found a subletter, and I moved to Mexico City, and now I've been living here for like 3 years and writing, and I published my book. Sometimes you just need some really intense crap and some intense mushroom ceremonies and a really witchy friend to help you get through and break through the structure that you've built around your life that isn't serving you anymore. Let me know if you are on your own spiritual journey to finding a career path that you love too.